Ah, line art. Such a bitch when my tablet have no screen. What should I do now? Have you ever bought a tablet thinking you're gonna be able to create some of the most coolest looking artwork ever in your life? So your expectation was just over the roof. And then when you got it, you drew one line in and it looked like absolute shit. Well, say no more. Give up on all of your line artwork and practice some of the most awesome painting technique there is. I present you the no guideline technique. The no guideline technique, you won't ever have to worry about anything else but proportion, color, brushstroke, edges, layer, reference, and rendering. Okay, that was an overly dramatic intro. I was just trying to make this shit sound interesting for you. Granted, this is the technique that I kinda stole from Angel Ganev, so I think anyone who decided to try this out should credit him too, just in case, and to give respect to the art master. Oh my god, I'm such a fanboy for him, man. Into the main topic, what we need before starting out. Good understanding and familiarity with the human body proportion. Sanity. Know how to paint by building up layers. Good and decent understanding about planes. Masochism. Know how to use color and know how to use the liquify tool. But these two you can learn during the process, so no worry. And finally, a lot of patience. Also, I forgot Photoshop, but you can use whatever program you like. Just don't go bitch with me about your struggle when you couldn't find the same tool and setting. Anyways, about this technique, let me break it down for you. The process includes painting out the main shape of the subject using a big brush, laying out the main features, main shadow and light, detail, shadow and light, then blending and rendering. Then the last one is details. Okay, then you're finished! Such a masterpiece. Yeah, just come back and watch the rest of the video after you have tried it out. So I can become your savior, rescuing you from all your torments. So a warning, this is gonna go into a lot of small details, so if you're like a beginner and you just try this out, you might find the amount of information, how am I gonna say this, overwhelming. And I don't blame you. So just come back and watch it like a second or third time, maybe take some notes so you're able to understand it better. Firstly, fill your background and choose the messy brush. What is the messy brush, you ask? It's a brush that have color dynamic turn on, and you can make multiple. You can lay in multiple color, different value in one stroke. That's pretty fun, right? As well as the brushes, if you want me to make separate videos about brushes, I got a lot of things to share, then please comment down so I know. Also, where you can find my brush set is in the description. I stole my brush set from Angel Ganev, and this guy, I forgot the name, but he has some cool brush with the texture that you want to play around with. Lay in a couple brush strokes to give the background some texture, and as well as make it look unified with our figure here. And when you lay in the brush stroke, remember when you first start out, we go from big to small, blocking the main shape first, then work on the smaller shape later. Like what's the main shape of the whole figure? Simplify it. Pick the local color to start lay out our figure. What's the local color you have? It's the middle tone value of the subject, or some can say that's mean how dark or light something is without any light. So just squint your eyes and pick the middle tone, which is this one. Or if you're more of a beginner, then maybe put a black and white filter on there to make it easier for you. Okay, this first step is kind of difficult to explain, but it's actually pretty easy. But basically, I'm just gonna quickly explain for you why I'm doing the things that I do right now. But Kim, what about the bullshit being messy and looking out of shape? Calm down, my child. That's when you use the eraser to sculpt out the shape that you desire. And honey, what's digital art without the control T? So you can rotate, scale, scoot, distort, warp, flip the brush stroke, or fix the shape. Next, I'm just gonna create a clipping mask to lay in some colors of the main lighting and shadow. And in this praise, I'm gonna focus on separating the body part just to make everything more clear to see. I hope it makes sense. A painting is easier when you just mainly focus on the light, shadows, value, and shape, plus edges, than to focus on making an arm look like an arm, an ear look like an ear, or a foot look like a foot. Why? Because if you do that, you just end up overcomplicating stuff and waste so much more time just fixing things than to place them parts all out at the right place in the beginning and work on the whole piece at once, rather than each sections once at a time. Don't worry, man, you'll see more of your mistakes along the way. I'm trying to make everything perfect in one go. And pretty much that's it for the base. Then you just keep refining the whole piece. I think they call this the rendering process, if I'm not wrong. Some reminders when you're painting: when you're laying the brush strokes, remember, just make it in one confident stroke. Don't color like you're holding a crayon. We're doing digital painting here. To have more control of the brush stroke shape, y'all can use the liquify tool or sculpt with an eraser, or control T that bitch to make it warp, destroy, change the scale of it. I said this before. Aha, time to add detail. For this process, I like to group everything that belongs to the figure, element, and background together, to make things tidy so it doesn't look so confused and you can edit them. For the rough editing parts, I like to adjust the level, then create a clipping mask to make everything more clearer by enhancing the shadow, midtones, and highlight. Dial that down a little bit. Do the same thing for the background, then group everything together again. Next is actually sharpening shit up using the rim brush or any type of brush that have transfer turned off to sharpen the edges. Basically, I just sharpen all the important edges I've already decided to keep sharp from this sketching process. Texture is optional but makes the painting less digital and more interesting. I don't use this a lot because it's not really my art style, but you do you and play around the amount of texture you want in your painting. Lastly, I group everything together and edit the whole painting in Camera Raw filter. Shortcut for this is Ctrl-Shift-A. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to make this video any longer, so just go there and fuck around within the setting. You know what they say?
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out.
Okay, now more sharpen. This time, Photoshop can do it for you. Oh man, this technique is just basically 20% laying out shit and 80% just refining and sharpening things. Duplicate the painting 2 times, so just press Ctrl D 2 times. Hit Ctrl I to invert. Right click to create smart object. Filter, go to blur, Gaussian blur. Pick 2.7, hit OK. Change the layer, make it to vivid light. Group the 2 duplicated layers together to create a mask. Ctrl I to reverse it. Change the mode of that group into overlay. Go to brushes, pick the airbrush. Paint with white, and where you paint, that part is sharpened. But remember, don't be fucking greedy. Merge those together, duplicate it again. Go to filter, other, high pass. I choose 1.5, so I hit OK. Choose soft light, and boom, extra sharpen. This step is optional, but if you want to add some noise and actually stealing from him, like to the point that you cannot go back anymore and you got addicted to the noise. And go to filter, noise, 4 or 5%, hit OK. Then go to filter, sharpen, smart sharpen, 21%, 1.4 pixel, reduce noise 0%, and hit OK. And yay! We're all done. Also, don't forget to add your signature, save it as a PNG. And if anyone's asking me some question about why am I so energetic in this video, just one word: coffee. And no, I'm not gonna translate all this shit to Vietnamese again. It took me fucking 3 weeks to do it. So, no. No, I'm not going sleepless. Sorry. But if someone like requested or like, oh yeah, I like your translating shit, and comment below so I know. And maybe I try some more, I guess. Okay, I hope you guys learned something, and this coffee is going down, I'm kind of getting sleepy now, so I'll talk to you later. Good night.